Hey, welcome back to another playtest game. This is an unknown baseball game that I've been working on for the Designing a Tabletop Sports Game series. So the game is coming together well. I'm testing it out with the 84 Cubs and the Padres in the NLCS. And the Cubs are up 3 games to none so far. Game 3 was a 3-1 win, pitcher stool, between Ed Whitson and Dennis Eckersley, a couple of A pitchers. And in this game, we're going to have an A pitcher for the Cubs go again, and Scott Sanderson, and he'll be facing off against Lawler for the Padres, a left-handed pitcher who's a B. You can see here the Padres only have one A starter. They have a lot of sort of good to middle of the road starters, while the Cubs have 4 A starters and a B starter and a C starter. So there's quite a discrepancy as far as starting pitching goes. When you get into the bullpens, about the same. The Cubs maybe a slight advantage over the Padres, but not really. It's about the same. They both have great closers, Goose Gossage for the Padres and Lee Smith for the Cubs. So really the advantage is in the starting pitching. We've seen that show up quite a bit. The good hitters for the Padres are getting hits, but boy, once you get through these C's and D's, they have 3 D's in the lineup, and that's just plus the pitcher. So four out of their 9 players are going to be D hitters. So, if Tony Gwynn's not knocking in runs or Mcreynolds, it's just going to be a tough day for the Padres. And 2 B hitters with Matthews and Durham. In this game, Durham's going to be sort of down the lineup. So you have a little bit of pop down low, and then you got these 2 guys who have been driving in runs for the Cubs. So the game is played with risk style dice rolls, and I'm going to try out a new base running mechanic and just try to do the actual risk rolls for the base running, where there's a little bit more of a chance for the fielding team to get the runner out, but the advantage is still clearly in the runner favor. If you look at all of the statistics, the advantage is to the runner's favor. Now, if you make an out, it's a big out, but the odds of you making it whenever you take an extra base or you try to steal a base, whatever it is, are actually in the runner's favor. So I always sort of try to reflect that in the game. All right, so the starting lineups for the Cubs, same as it has been. Dernier, Sandberg, Matthews in left, Keith Moreland in right, Ron Say, Jody Davis, Leon Durham, Larry Boa at short, and pitching is Scott Sanderson. He is an A pitcher and a righty. For the Padres, it's Wiggins at second base, Gwynn in right, Garvey at first base. He's a D batter. Nettles playing third in this game. Kennedy behind the plate, Mcreynolds in center, Martinez in left, Gary Templeton at short, and the pitcher is Lawler, who is a lefty Lawler. Okay, well, let's get this one started. So we have a B pitcher, so that means 2 dice, and he's going to be facing off against a C batter, which is 1 die. So we roll to see the highest number, and then we compare those two. So that's a win for the pitcher. So we roll off of the pitcher card. So a 2-3 off of a B. So we're looking at San Diego. A 2-3 is going to be a fly ball to right field. So Dernier flies out for out number 1, and that brings up Ryan Sandberg. So this time Sandberg's an A, and he gets 3 dice against a B pitcher who has 2 dice. So we'll take the first 2 dice for Sandberg, and we'll compare those against the 2 dice for the pitcher. And Sandberg wins both of those, so he gets to roll for the outcome. So a 3-5 to Rhino is going to be a single. So right off the bat, Sandberg singles in his first at bat of the game. It's going to bring up Gary Matthews. Matthews had a very good series. Don't have the total numbers on that yet, but He's had an excellent series. So a 4-2 and a 5-1. So this is a loss for the batter, a loss for the pitcher. So we go 1-1 and see. Matthews needs to beat a 3, and he can't. So that's going to be to the pitcher. A 1-4 to a B pitcher is going to be a fly ball to center field. Runner's going to hold, and that's 2 outs in the inning. Keith Moreland to the plate. He's going to have to beat a 5, so either a 5 or 6, and he does. He's going to have to do it one more time. He's got to beat a 5 again, and he can't do it that time as he gets a 1. And so Lawler's going to get out of this first inning. A 5-5 to a B is going to be a pop-up to short, and that's going to end the inning as the shortstop, Templeton, squeezes it for the out. So no runs on 1 hit and 1 left on for the Cubs. And we head to the bottom of the inning. It's going to be Sanderson against Wiggins. Now Sanderson is an A, so he's going to get 3 dice, and Wiggins is a C, so he's got to go and win these rolls 3 times. So uphill battle for a C batter. He can't do it, and so it's going to be Sanderson with a 4-5. That'll be a fly out to right field. That'll be out number 1 in the inning. All right, Tony Gwynn is up, so this is going to be a straight up 3-3 roll. So 4-3-2 for the pitcher. 5-5-1 for the batter. So that's a win for these 2 for the batter, and then he loses this one. So 2-1 is our roll, and he's going to have to beat a 6, Gwynn is, and he can't do that, so that's going to take away 1, and we'll see what the outcome is here. So it's got to be a 6 to win the at-bat, and he can't do it. So that's going to be a 1-1 to Sanderson, who's an A, so it's going to be grounded right back to the pitcher. And that's going to be out number 2. So Steve Garvey to the plate. Sorry, we should roll 4. With a D batter, you got to roll 4 against 1. So it's very difficult. Not impossible, but difficult for a D batter. So you can see here, he takes out 1. And he's going to have to roll another 6. And he can't do it that time. So the result goes 3-6 to an A is a fly out to center field. So just because you lose doesn't necessarily mean you're going to, not affect the play. It just means that the control goes to the pitcher, and the result of the play is going to be some sort of out. Sometimes it's going to be a ground ball double play. Sometimes it's just going to be a fielder's choice ground out. Whatever it is, you can still affect the play. It's not like you're totally out of the play. All right, so no score. The Cubs go down 1-2-3, or the Padres go down 1-2-3 at the bottom of the first. Go to the top of the second, and Lawler's going to be facing off against Ron Say, Jody Davis, and Leon Durham. So we got a 5 there. Ron Say has to beat a 5, and he can't. So this is going to go to Lawler. A 3-4 to a B is going to be another fly ball, this time to center field. And that's going to be out number 1 as Mcreynolds squeezes it for the out. Jody Davis, the catcher, is up, and the roll is a 4. And we got a 6 for the batter, so roll again. He's got to beat a 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's a win for Jody Davis. And let's see what happens here. 2-4 to a C batter is going to be a walk. So Jody Davis, the catcher, takes a walk, and he gets on ahead of Leon Durham, who's had a really nice series, player of the game in game number 1. So a 2, and then Leon Durham rolls 2, so it's a 2 and a 1, sorry. And then we got a 4 and a 3, so that's a win for the batter. And Durham with a 4-4, he's a B. So 4-4 to a B, so back-to-back walks for the Cubs as they get 2 on with 1 out. Runners at first and second, only one out, and it's a D batter, so it's Larry Boa. So we're going to add an extra die to the pitcher. So instead of 2, he's got 3. So Larry Boa's got to win 3 of these rolls. First one is a 6 he needs, and he can't get it. So it's going to go to Lawler, the pitcher, and 13B. So it's a ground ball to shortstop, ground ball to 6, and an automatic double play. So with 2 outs, that's going to end the inning. So we're going to say fielder's choice here. We're going to go 6-4-3 there. And Lawler gets the double play after walking 2 batters in the inning. 0-0 our score as we go to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Nettles, Kennedy, and Reynolds against Scott Sanderson. So we got a 6 here. Nettles is a C batter. He needs a 6 and can't get it. So a 1-6 to an A pitcher is going to be a strikeout. So that's the first strikeout of the game for Sanderson. And first strikeout of the game for either pitcher. Next up is Kennedy. He's a D, so we're going to roll 4 here. And we got a 6, so he picks that one off. And next he's got a B to 5. Can't do that. So it'll be a 3-6 to an A pitcher is a fly ball to center. And next up is Kevin Mcreynolds, who is a B batter. So we have to do the first 2. And let's see if Mcreynolds can beat a 6-1. And he cannot. He does beat the 1. But the 6 he can't. So it's still a 2-1 advantage. So here we have a 6. Got to roll 6. And he doesn't roll 6. So that's going to go pitcher advantage. And that's a 3-6 to an A pitcher is a fly ball to center field again. And the center fielder is Dernier, and he puts it away for out number 3. So we go to the top of the third inning. That's another 1-2-3 inning for Sanderson as he's put away the first 6 Padres. It's going to be Sanderson, Dernier, and Sandberg against Lawler, who is a B. So this is a D batter, so we'll add another die here. And he takes care of the pitcher. It's going to be a 2-6 to a B. That's a grounder to second base. So Sanderson does make contact, but grounds out to second. And the second baseman is Wiggins. He puts it away for out number 1. Dernier up. It's 2 against 1 with a B against a C. And so he takes out the first roll out, and he's going to wind up winning because it goes to the batter here. So that's going to go by default to the batter if you roll a 1. And a 5-5 to a C. And a 5-5 to a C is going to be a bomb as he hits one high and deep to left field. And I saw some of the highlights on YouTube. And Dernier actually did go deep in Wrigley Field for one of these games. So he puts it into the basket or into the left field stands. And that's going to be a 1-0 lead for Chicago. So C batters can win against these pitchers. It just doesn't happen super often, not as often as an A or B, which is how it should be, right? So 1-0 is our score. We have 1 out in the top of the third, and it's Sandberg against Lawler. So we have a 3-2. Sandberg rolls all 3, and he's got a 6-4, and that's going to be a win for him. So let's see what Sandberg can do with the at-bat. Looks like back-to-back jacks, and it is. So that's going to be a home run for Rhino as he goes deep, dead center, and that's going to be a big bomb. And 2 solo home runs have the Cubs up 2-0. Whenever I figured these, Ryan Sandberg is the only A on the team, so all of these statistics here are based off of his own personal statistics. He doesn't share those with any other player. Now the B is shared between Matthews and Durham, the only two B batters on the team. So it's an average of those two players. All right. So we have Matthews up. He is a B, and so we're going to have a 2 against 2. Lawler is struggling in this third inning, and he's going to struggle again as he loses that really good roll, but excellent roll from the batter. A B, 1-5 from the B is going to be a base knock. So after getting a quick out, he has failed to get any more outs, and he's going to be facing off against Moreland. That's a 6. Moreland's got a roll of 6, and he does. And let's see, he's got to roll a 4, 5, or 6 to win this at bat. Can't do it. So a 2-4 to a B is going to be a ground ball to second base. So we're going to go 4-3 on the put out. It's just going to be a fielder's choice. And the runner is at second base now with 2 down. Sorry, that should be 2 outs. 2 outs in the inning. Runner at second base, and it'll be Ron Say against Lawler. So Say's going to have to beat a 6, and he can't do that. So Lawler's going to get out of this inning. He's a B pitcher. A 1-6 is going to be a strikeout as he strikes out Ron Say. Say 0 for 2 in the game, and runner is stranded at second, but not before 2 runs come in for the Cubs. The score is 2-0 on 2 solo home runs from the top of the order from Chicago. We head to the bottom of the third. It's going to be Martinez, Templeton, and Lawler, so a C and 2 Ds against Scott Sanderson, who is an A pitcher. So it's going to be a 5. Got to beat a 5. Can't do that. So the advantage goes to Sanderson. And a 2-4 to an A is a grounder to second base. So Sandberg, no problems with that play. And Templeton is a D. So it's got to beat a 4. And he can't do that. So it's going to be to Sanderson again, a 4-5. To an A is a fly ball to right field. That's going to be out number 2. And Lawler is the pitcher. He's going to have to beat a 6. And almost, but not quite. So a 1-2-3 inning for Sanderson, as he's got 3 up and 3 down for the third time. He's allowed no hits through the first 3. And that's going to be a 2-0 lead for the Cubs as we head into the top of the fourth. In the fourth, it'll be Davis, Durham, and Boa for Chicago. So there's a 4. And Davis can't beat that 4, so it's going to go to the pitcher. A 2-5 to a B. It's going to be a strikeout. So Lawler with his second K of the day. He's got 2 in a row now, and he's going to be facing off against Leon Durham. So it's a 5 and a 2, and Durham's roll is a 6 and a 5. So Durham wins that one, and he's going to get to control this at bat. A 2-3 to a B is going to be a single. Now you can't interchange these pitchers maybe, but you can't really interchange these because these are based off of these batters here. So all of these batting stats are changed compared to this one. So here you've got only doubles at 13. Here you've got a triple at 13. So there, and then only singles at 14, but you've got a double here at 14. So these are team-based, so you can't really like just use one for everybody. If you could if you wanted to, I guess, but it would be based off of another team's players. So it's these players here, between the bench and the starters. That's who I used to get to those results. So base hit for Durham, he is 1 for 1 and he's been on base twice. And it's going to be Larry Boa to the plate. He's a D batter, so we're going to roll 3 for the pitcher, and he's got to beat a 3. Can't do that. So kind of a low number, but it couldn't beat him. And a B56 is going to be a pop-up to the second baseman. And no advancement for the runner there. And it's going to be Sanderson, so another D player. This time Sanderson's going to have to beat a 6, and he can't do it. So Lawler gets out of this one with a fly ball to right field. And that's no runs on 1 hit and 1 left on for the Cubs. 2-0 Chicago as we hit to the bottom of the 4th. It'll be at the top of the order, Wiggins, Gwynn, and Garvey to the plate. So 3, get to roll 3 for Sanderson, and 1 for Wiggins. Wiggins wins the first one. Okay, he's got to beat a 5 this time, and he can't do that. So it's going to go to Sanderson. A 1-2 to an A is going to be a pop-up to the catcher. So he ranges into foul territory just in front of the net behind home plate and makes the catch. And it's going to bring up Tony Gwynn. So it's going to be an even strength matchup. So 3, 3, and 3. And Gwynn's going to have to make a pretty good roll here to make a dent into this roll. And he does just that. Look at that. He wins it outright. So win, win, win. And that's going to be Tony Gwynn taking out an A pitcher. And for Gwynn, it's a 2-4. 2-4 to an A is going to be a walk. So he gets on base for the first time. And that'll bring up Steve Garvey with 1 out. There's a 3. So Garvey takes him out. Another kind of low number with a 4. 4, 5, 6 will win it. And he rolls a 3. A 2-2 to an A is going to be a pop-up to second base. So he gets him on a high fastball. And now it'll be Nettles, who is a C batter. So Nettles has to win 3 rolls. And he can't win the first one. So that's going to go to Sanderson, who's a 3-5. So that'll be a ground ball to the third baseman, Ron Say. Say up with it and over to first. And no problem there. So no runs on no hits, 1 left on for the Padres in the bottom of the 4th. They did ruin the perfect game, but still a no-hitter going for Sanderson. The combination of an A pitcher and such poor batters is going to make it tough sledding for a team. Okay, who do we have up? We have the top of the order. It's Dernier, Sandberg, and Matthews. The last time Dernier and Sandberg got up, they hit back-to-back home runs. We'll see what happens in this frame. So we got to beat a 4, and he cannot do that. So he's not going to repeat the last time. It's going to be a 1-3, and that's a ground ball to shortstop. So Templeton up with it, and over to Garvey for out number 1. And we have 1 down with Ryan Sandberg coming to the plates. 5 and a 1, not a great roll. As Sandberg wins both of these. And Rhino with a 2-6. That's going to be another walk, or a walk. So he's on base for the 3rd time. And it will be Gary Matthews against Lawler. So a 3 and a 1, again, not a great roll. A 6 and a 2, so both of those are a win for the batter. And Matthews controls this one. It's a 3-6. 3-6 to a B is going to be another walk. So back-to-back walks for the pitcher. Now we have 2 on with 1 out. And Keith Moreland to the plates. Moreland has popped out and grounded out. He's going to have to go the long way and beat a 6, and he does. And now he's got to beat a 5, and he can't do that. So this goes to Lawler, a 1-4. 1-4 to a B is going to be a fly out to center field. All the runners are going to hold, And we've got 2 on with 2 outs, and Ron Say coming to the plate. He struck out his last at bat. He's going to have to beat a 6. And he can't do that. So this inning is going to end on a pop-up to first base as it's heading toward the stands. And the first baseman is Garvey. And he runs over and he reaches into the stands and makes the play for out number 3. So no runs on no hits, 2 left on as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Good one here, 2-0 Cubs over the Padres. Lawler against Sanderson. Sanderson is still pitching well. No hitter through 4, and we'll see what happens in this inning. I mean, Kennedy, Mcreynolds, and Martinez. So Kennedy is a D. So we got 4 here. He's going to have to beat a 5, and he can't do that. So Scott Sanderson with a 5-5. That's a pop up to third base, high pop, right on the line. And that's going to be out number 1. I wonder if maybe I should make some of these pop-ups into line drives, maybe. Got a lot of pop-ups here. And maybe just scatter the pop-ups so, maybe an A pitcher just doesn't have all the pop-ups. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see about that. It feels like a lot of pop-ups, fly balls, ground balls. There's more. There's line outs that can be had. So, all right, pop up to third base, and it's going to be Mcreynolds batting. This will be a 3 against a 2. So a good chance here for Mcreynolds as the roll is a 2 and a 1. Mcreynolds wins this at bat outright against Sanderson. Sanderson leaves it out over the plate. And a 1-5 to a B is going to be a single. So he gets a little bit too much to the plate. Mcreynolds wraps it to right field, and that's going to be the first hit of the game. So Sanderson with his first slip up there. We got a 6. So he comes back strong against Martinez. And that's a 3-4 to an A, which would be a strikeout. A little bit angry there. And that's going to be out number 2, as Sanderson will be facing off against Gary Templeton. Here's a 6. Templeton can't win that battle, and it goes to Sanderson at 2-5. So Sanderson, after the single, gets a little ruffled and comes back with back-to-back Ks. His second and third K of the game. No runs on 1 hit, 1 left on, and we head to the top of the 6th inning. It is Chicago 2-0 over the Padres. It's Lawler still on the mound, and he's up next, so maybe we'll stick with him and see how he does through this inning. It's Davis, Durham, and Boa for the Cubs. Jody Davis, 0 for 1, and he's going to be 0 for 2 here. So a 3-4 to a B, and that's going to be a fly ball to center field. Out number 1, and Leon Durham to the plate. Durham is 1 for 1 with a single. So that's a great roll from the pitcher. It's going to be tough to beat. And he does not beat it. In fact, he loses both. So Lawler bearing down here in the top of the 6th. That's a 2-6 to a B. That's a ground ball to second base. And that's going to bring up Larry Boa, who is a D batter. So we've got a 6 here. Boa's got a beat, and he cannot do that. So advantage goes to the pitcher. A 2-3 is going to be a fly ball to right field. So Boa flies out to end the inning. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for Lawler in the 6th. We're going to get a pinch hitter for Lawler. Just try to do something to shake it up. They're not able to get anything going. This is the 6th inning. And Brown is a switch hitter, and he's a C. So I'm going to be quick to pull the trigger on Lawler. He hasn't pitched badly. Just got to try to get some sort of offense in here against Sanderson. And once we get to past the seventh inning, if Sanderson is still in the game, then we'll drop him down to a B pitcher. So if he tries to finish the game, he's going to have to finish at one grade lower. So that's sort of a rule that I'm putting in there. Okay, so Sanderson against Brown. And Brown is a C batter, so he's going to have to beat that 6, and he can't do it. So he's going to make the first out of the inning. A 2-5 is going to be a strikeout. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Sanderson. Don't know about his strikeout numbers necessarily as a group. They're at about a 20% strikeout rate, which is maybe a little bit above average for that time period. So it's at 15 or so, 15 for the B players, and then for the C-rated pitchers, it's only about a 10% strikeout rate, which falls within line of of the actual numbers of the players. So that's how I figured that out by their K percentages. So that's going to be out number 1. Brown he strikes out, and back to the top of the order with Wiggins, who is a C batter. He's 0 for 2. He's going to have to beat that 6. That was a great roll, and he does. Also equally good. Got a 5. Oh, and it's a 4. So this goes to the pitcher, a 4-6. 4-6 is going to be a ground ball to second base. And Wiggins is 0 for 3 against Sanderson. All right, here's a good opportunity for San Diego with Tony Gwynn at the plate, and a chance with the roll here to keep it going. So we got a 6, a 5, and a 2. So this is going to be a loss to Gwynn, but he takes out 2. So it's 2-on-1, and definitely going to win that roll. So Tony Gwynn wins this one. Let's see what happens with the at-bat. It's a 2-5. 2-5 to an A is another walk. So that's 2 walks in the game for Tony Gwynn. Let's try to steal with Tony Gwynn just to get something going with 2 outs. If not, we just don't have any great batters coming up for San Diego. So let's try to steal. We got 2 here, and we got 1 for the defense. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same battle roll. That's a 6. So one of these has to be a 6, and it's not. So we're going to take that one out, and then it's a 1-to-1 roll here. A 5. So it got to be a 5 or a 6 to steal the base, and it's not. And so the steal is unsuccessful, and he gets caught stealing at second. Don't know if that's I don't know if it should be 3-to-1. 3-to-1 is like 75%. So we'll have to start just really doing some research on the stolen bases, trying to get the percentages right about what the opportunities are to steal a base. It's about 60-40 with a 2-to-1, which may be a little bit low. And maybe we'll just have to grade that out with speed. So the different players, if you're an average speed guy, maybe it's 2 dice that you have. If you're above average speed, maybe it's 3 dice. Maybe grade them out A, B, C 2 with the 3 dice and 2 dice and 1 die. So let's have to see. Okie doke. Well, that's the 3rd out of the inning. So no runs on no hits. There was 1 walk, but he was caught stealing. So still nothing against Sanderson. It's 2-0 Chicago, and we need to bring in a new pitcher. And the new pitcher is going to be who do we have last time? We just brought in Leffert, so let's bring in Trevecki. Dave Trevecki. Last game Trevecki came into, he gave up grand slam to somebody, to Gary Matthews or somebody. So he got 6 innings, And he gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hits, 2 runs, 2, 4 walks, and 2 Ks. So that's the final line for Lawler. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, and 2 Ks. He gives up the back-to-back home runs here in the third to the top of the order. And we'll see what it is here. We're going to keep Sanderson in the game. So it's going to be Jervecki against Sanderson. Sanderson's a D batter, so we got 3 dice for the B pitcher. And Sanderson's going to have to win 3 rolls. He can't even win 1, so this is going to go to the pitcher. 2-6 to a B is going to be a grounder to second base. And that's out number 1. Back to the top of the order, it'll be Dernier against Dernier against Jervecki. Pitcher wins that one, and it's going to be a 3-6 to a B. Will be a fly ball to right field. Dernier 1 for 4. He had the home run, and it will be Sandberg now. So 2 for the pitcher, 3 for Ryan Sandberg. So we get a 6, and we get a 3 and a 1. So that's going to be a win for Rhino. And a 1-5 to an A. It's going to be a base hit. So he's 3 for 3 with 3 base hits. He's got 2 singles, a double, and a walk. So it'll be Gary Matthews to the plate. Matthews walked in his last at bat. He's 1 for 2. This will be a straight up 2-2 roll. That's going to be pretty tough to beat. So we got to roll a 6 and a 6 in order to beat that, and he doesn't. So the pitcher wins this one, comes through strong, and that's going to be a grounder to second or shortstop. Long throw across the diamond. Gets the batter, and that's going to be no runs on 1 hit and 1 left on for the Cubs. 2-0 our score. The Cubs are up 3-0. So if they win this game, that's going to be a series win for them in the 84 NLCS. The Padres won this one 3-2. They won the series in real life. And it's going to be Steve Garvey, Nettles, and Terry Kennedy to the plate against Sanderson. Sanderson is in the 7th inning, so he's got 1 more inning at an A rating. If he goes out there for the 8th or the 9th, he's going to be down to a B. So we'll see if he gets that chance. Or if San Diego can spoil it. That's going to be a 2. Not spoiling anything here. And that'll be a 2-5. A 2-5 to Sanderson is a strikeout. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ks on the day. Now he'll be facing off against Nettles. I realized I didn't roll 4 that time. I should have rolled 4. Didn't really matter. Doesn't win that, so Sanderson's going to control this one. And a 1-1 is going to be a ground ball. A little slow roller right to the pitcher. He comes off the mound quickly, picks it up, throws to first, and gets him by a step. And that brings Terry Kennedy to the plate. Kennedy, a D batter. 7th inning. Let's go ahead and bring Bruce Bochy in just to try to get some sort of offense going. So bring him in at catcher. He is a right-handed C. And we're just going to try to inject a little bit more offense into the game for the Padres. So a 3 against a 1. And just to give him a little chance here. So I got to beat a 5. Bruce Bochy does, and he can't. So Sanderson. A 3-6. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. So the Padres go down 1-2-3 to Scott Sanderson in the 7th inning. Go to the top of the 8th. Going to keep Jervecki in the game for now. He'll be facing off against Moreland, Say, and Davis, so he'll have a little bit of advantage here. And the Cubs send up the middle of their order. Moreland's going to have to beat a 6, and he can't. So Dravecky with the pop-up to first base. And that's going to be out number 1. Facing off against Ron Say 0 for 3. And he's going to have an uphill battle here. But he takes care of the first step. And he's going to have to roll a 5 or a 6 to win this at bat. And he rolls a 3. So a 3-6. 3-6 to a B is going to be a fly ball to right field. So Say gets wood on it, but hits it to right field. Can of corn for the right fielder, Tony Gwynn, as he makes the play out there. And it's going to be Davis now, Jody Davis. That's a 2. He has to beat a 2, and he does. And let's see here. Oh, he's got to come back and roll a 6 again, and he cannot do that. So this goes to the pitcher, and it's a 4-6. 4-6 is going to be a ground ball to the second baseman. And that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Dave Dravecky, the lefty, as he comes in and provides some relief for the Padres. And this will be go to the bottom of the 8th. We are going to keep Sanderson in the game. He comes up the next inning for an at-bat. We'll have to make a decision on there. But he's going to be down to a B pitcher, so that's only 2 for him. So he's now a B, and he'll be facing off against Mcreynolds, Martinez, and Gary Templeton. I think maybe we're going to pinch hit for Templeton with Flannery. We'll try to get a little bit more offense in the game. So Mcreynolds is up, and he's a B. So this is going to be an even roll now. They haven't had that with Mcreynolds, and it doesn't. Oh man, Sanderson is tough. So that's going to be a loss and a loss. So we'll see on this at bat. He's got to roll a 5 or a 6 to win this at bat, and he rolls 1. So Sanderson wins yet again. Here's a 3-5. That's a grounder to the third baseman, Say. Say puts it away for out number 1, and it will be Martinez, the batter. He's a C batter, and he's going to have to beat a 6 here, and he can't. So Sanderson's still going strong. That's going to be a grounder right back to the pitcher as he fields it cleanly and underhands to the first baseman, and that's going to be out number 2. Like I said, let's go ahead and pinch hit for Templeton with Flannery. So we're going to insert him at shortstop. Flannery is a lefty, and he is a C. So we've got Bochy in the game, got Flannery in the game, trying to just inject a little bit of offense, a little life, a little hope and opportunity for this San Diego team, who is down to their last 4 outs. They got 2 outs here in the 8th, facing off against Sanderson. That's a 4, got to beat a 4. And just no life from the San Diego offense. And a 2-3 is going to be a fly ball to right field or to center field. And that's going to be all she wrote. 1-2-3. Sanderson takes care of the Padres, and he's got a 1 hitter going, as he's got 8 innings in the books. We're going to have to make a choice on him here. Let's go ahead and get a let's just leave Dravecky in. I mean, he became a starting pitcher, right? So I think he can probably go 3 innings. He's a B pitcher, and he's going to be facing off against Durham, Boa, and Sanderson. A 3 and a 2 against Leon Durham. A 3 and a 3, so that's going to be a win for Durham all around. A 3-4 to Leon Durham. Could be trouble. That's going to be a walk. And Durham gets on base with his second walk. He's been on base 3 times in this game. Brings up Brown. Or, I'm sorry, Laraboa, a D batter. And Boa roll, well, he's going to have to beat a 6. And he can't do that, so that's going to go to the pitcher. Let's see what happens here. A 2-6. 2-6 to a B pitcher would be a ground ball, excuse me, to the second baseman. The only play there is to first, and so we're going to get a fielder's choice. So it'll be at second base. Runner at second base with 1 out, and that's going to bring up Sanderson. Let's let Sanderson try to hit and finish up this game. He's up 2-0. If he gets in trouble, we can bring in Smith. So the pitcher's going to roll 3 because he's a D batter. That's going to be a win there. And is it possible that he's going to get a hit? Nope, not possible. All right, so a 2-5 to a B is going to be a strikeout. So he strikes out Sanderson in his final at bat. And that will be a 2 down. Runner at second base for the Cubs, and Dernier to the plate. He's going to have to beat a 5 to keep this one alive, and he cannot do that. So this is going to go to Dave Dravecky. 4-6. 4-6 is going to be a ground ball to second base. So that ends the inning for the Cubs. No runs on no hits, 1 left on, and we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Scott Sanderson looking to complete the shutout. He's got a 1-hitter going, and he is going to have to face off against the bottom of the order and then back to the top. So he does have to face Gwynn. So if the Padres can manage somehow to get somebody on base, there's still an opportunity there. We have Salazar, and we have, is it Bevacqua? Bevacqua? I don't know how you say it. Utility player. Maybe get him in the game. Bevacqua? I'm not sure. Pinch hitter in the 9th, he is going to be a righty, and he bats as a C batter. Okie doke. And he's going to be going for Dravecky. Dravecky 3 innings. He came in 1, 2, 3, so he came in here. He gives up one hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. So a nice relief appearance for him to finish out the game and keep the Cubs off the board. Last 3 outs for San Diego. They're facing off against Scott Sanderson, and this is going to be 2 against a 1, so chance here for the pinch hitter, and he just really comes up and biffs. So that's going to be a 1-2 to an A. That's a pop out to second base. He had a nice healthy cut, but he gets just under it, pops it straight up. And it will be Wiggins to the plate. He's got to beat a 5. And he does there. And let's see what happens. He's got to beat a 4. Oh, and he can't get on base. So a 3-6 to an A is going to be a fly out to center field. And that'll be out number 2. Last hope is Tony Gwynn for the Padres, but he can hit a 2-run home run all by himself. And it's a 6-2. Oh, what a terrible roll. Okay, so still 2-1 though, his advantage, and that's going to be definitely a hit as he wins that one 4-1. And or not a hit, but a positive play. Let's put it that way. A 4-5. This might be a bomb. Nope, that's going to be a triple for Tony Gwynn, his second triple of the series. And Gwynn stands at second base with Steve Garvey at the plate. They only have 1 guy on the bench left, and he's a D, so there's no sense in bringing him in. Salazar is going to go up to a 3 against the D batter, and this is their last hope. Garvey's going to have to pop one, and he takes the first step there. and he cannot do it, as Sanderson is going to close this one out. A 2-4 is going to be a ground ball to second base, and that's all she wrote for the Padres, who put together an inept performance against the dominant Scott Sanderson. Sanderson, as a 2-hitter, he goes 9 innings. Final on this one is going to be 2-0, as the Padres pitch very well. They just couldn't push any runs across against Sanderson, who gets the win. Lawler's going to take a tough loss, and Dravecky, nothing. So 2 hits. I believe that's right. 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 5 Ks for Scott Sanderson. All right, 2 hits, no errors for either team, so cleanly played. And it's going to be 6 hits for the Cubs. So 2 runs on 6 hits and no errors for Chicago. No runs on 2 hits and no errors for San Diego. And that's how it's played. So don't know if what do you think? Do you think this is realistic? Do you think it's too much advantage to the pitcher? I'd be curious to what your thoughts are as to how the game plays and what you think about the game. So this is the play testing phase, right? So you're just sort of trying some things out and seeing, is this what you laid out, your vision, your initial guesses, are they correct? Are there some adjustments that need to be made? Are there mistakes on the cards that need to be made right and corrected? Does it feel right with some of these, or does it feel like, maybe it's too many walks, or too many of one play or another? I really think, there's a lot of pop outs here, so maybe I can change some of those to just a line out and get a little more variety in the outs with the line outs. But that's really basically, there's ground outs, pop outs, fly outs, and line outs. That's the outs that you have in a baseball game. So maybe get a few more line outs on there. I don't have a lot of advanced statistics for these older teams to be able to figure out, ground out percentage or pop out percentage or whatever, infield fly percentage, those types of things. I could sort of guesstimate based on other seasons, I guess, and just kind of guess at what those would be. So I'll make some of those changes to the cards. What do you think about the cards? The cards too simplistic? Are they easy to read? Does it need more information? I think we're going to have to go with a speed rating, maybe for the players here, so we can introduce a little bit more fine mechanic with the stealing and taking extra bases. Yeah. Well, I think that's it. Maybe after 6 innings, he needs to drop down to a B. I'll make it a little bit more exciting. Trying to figure out fatigue and those types of things for the different players, or maybe some sort of fatigue meter, which, as things happen in the game, you just lose a little bit after each inning or something. Just have to kind of play around with some of those things and see how they go. All right. Well, I think that's it for me. If you have any comments and questions, leave them down in the comment section below. This NLCS is over, 4-0. The Cubs win this series behind the strength of their starting pitching, as they win the last 2 games, 3-1 and 2-0. Good games and some clutch hitting here from the top 2 players in the lineup. I am probably going to look through some of the stats here and just kind of see how the different grades of player are performing, and see if any adjustments need to be made to the system to try to bring those in line. This is only 4 games, so it's not a huge sample size to be making big decisions on, but just something to keep track of. Pitching seems okay, seems to be hitting spot on, and this is 80s baseball. Sometimes there's some scoring. One game is 9-1. So I don't know. It feels like baseball to me. So that's what I'm going to kind of go with. And if the mechanics don't work, then they just don't work. But they seem to be working fine. And as we go along, we're going to be introducing more skill cards into this process. So we're going to be getting cards. Say when you have an inning with a strikeout, you would get a turn card, and then you can trade in those turn cards for extra skill cards. And those skill cards can be used throughout the game to give a boost to a player or to a team. So that's going to be helpful for teams like the Padres who are having a hard time against, and it's going to even out some of these A pitchers, I think, by giving a little extra boost to the other team to at least give them a better chance to make a play. All right, I think that's it from here. If you haven't subscribed, click subscribe, and be more content coming. Maybe as baseball season winds down and finishes up, I might actually have more baseball content. I get a little restless in the winter in Chicago and waiting for baseball to come back around. So that might actually be the best time to be putting some content out there. So maybe the channel will be a little bit busier with the on-base baseball. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.